Are you curious about the history and stories of West Coast hip hop? Well, here it is. When some people think about hip hop, they don't think about it as art. Art, like Rembrandt, Jean-Michel Basquiat, or Mozart. That kind of art. In our world of popular culture, mainstream trends, and what's hot today is forgotten tomorrow, hip hop can often be seen as disposable and fun for the moment. This may be true for some of the songs you love for weeks, only to move on to something else. However, when we look at hip hop in a cultural and social way, it's more than just hot songs, reality shows, and fights between rappers. Regardless of how you may view hip hop now, it started out as art, a form of creative expression. You may not see these examples in your Instagram feed or on hip hop platforms or channels, but they're out there. Many of these people are right below the radar all around us. They're in the underground hip hop community. They're graffiti artists, MCs, producers, and beatmakers, street dancers, DJs, and turntablists. They practice the hip hop arts, stay connected to others in the community, and take the representation of true hip hop culture seriously. DJ, visual artist, and community organizer Joshua Aldretti, also known as Kenzo Roc Martinez, is one of those people. Raised in the MacArthur Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, he was introduced to hip hop at an early age. He shares the experience of seeing what he understands to be hip hop for the first time.
Hip hop was one summer, just Herbie Hancock Rocket was everywhere, and it was just ingrained. It was just like in my head, that dude, that song, and it was just everywhere. And like, I'd go to my cousin's house, I'd go to my friend's house, I'd go down the street, I'd go to the market, I'd go anywhere, and there was that song. I didn't know what hip hop was necessarily, but I knew like I liked that feeling that I got, and that's when I started noticing like, people breakdancing and popping and dancing to this song, and I got interested in like, whoa, what are these people doing? So I was not involved in the hip hop community at all. Actually, it wasn't until I moved to Silver Lake that I got involved in the community, and it was sort of by mistake. My friend Samaj had was actually one of my first friends when I moved there. He had a streak, which is like a paint marker, and he showed it to me, like, check out what I got. And I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, you write your name on the wall. And I'm like, won't you get in trouble? And he's like, no, you make up a fake name, and then you write that. And I was like, oh, cool. And then from there I was like all about it.
For Kenzo and his friends, these early days were filled with new experiences and discovering the emerging scene around them. It wasn't about being the best or being the king of the hill. It was about having fun. Over time, this can change as we take our art more seriously and start to think about what we can do with it. Kenzo sees this firsthand as a resident DJ and mentor to participants at the Los Angeles Hip Hop Arts program, JUICE. Running since 2001, JUICE, which stands for Justice by Uniting and Creative Energy, started as a free place for underserved youth to skill build and learn the hip-hop arts. Over the years, it eventually transformed into a multicultural, intergenerational space for people to practice, learn, and meet others who are also into hip-hop. During the weekly sessions, Kenzo talks shop, counsels, and shares ideas with veterans and up-and-coming street dancers, graffiti artists, and MCs in Los Angeles. In his more than 15 years working with JUICE, he's noticed a pattern with participants: a lack of self-confidence. In his community work is a core organizer for the LA Zine Fest, which is a free independent publishing festival that brings together art makers, writers, and creative folks to share their work with the public. He's used his ability to deal with the highs and lows of event planning and organizing to the artists he talks with.
And I think I learned that from hip hop and getting that work, like work ethic of, you fall down, you get up, you just keep going. Like that's what it is.
Okay.
And I try to teach that a lot of Juice. I feel like that's one of the main things that I'm there for, is to encourage people, because one of the main things most people are missing is just belief in themselves. And I find that can be like the one key that unlocks all of the rest of the person's potential, is that they just believe in themselves. And they're, maybe they're not fully developed, or like their skill set isn't ripe and they don't see the fruit of their work yet. But if you just, give them that little insight, then you see them really bloom and go into like the next phase of their life. And it requires a lot of work. People watch a lot of movies and TV where it's like, the hero is gone for like 5 minutes and they come back and they're a master. There's like that training sequence, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like the inspirational music is playing and the guy's
like
like
a montage of,
of like, but months and years are going by in that montage, and I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, they're not good at it right away, and they just give up. They're like, oh, that's not for me. But that's that's not correct understanding. If it resonates with your heart, you need to stick with it, because you're going to make yourself really sad stepping away from it.
The struggle to have belief and confidence in yourself is the case for most artists, whether they're into hip-hop or not. However, those who practice the hip-hop arts rarely have the space, opportunities, and tools to deal with what's holding them back. It's not cool or acceptable to say, I don't know, I'm scared, or I don't know what to do next. We can act our way through it, find another way around it to get over the hump, or sometimes just give up without admitting there is something wrong. In the book, The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity, writer Julia Cameron offers tools for people from all walks of life to tap on their creativity. It's not only for artists, because we're all creative. However, she does deal with what holds many artists back. And these tools can easily apply to those of us in the hip-hop arts. Cameron deals with looking at negative beliefs straight on. She gives a list of core negative beliefs that people may have about themselves, like, I don't have good ideas, I will never have any real money, and I will do bad work and not know it and look like a fool. We gotta look good, right? These can be some of the beliefs that are holding us back from practicing, putting our work out there, or taking things to the next level. These beliefs can be based on things our family, people at school, or friends said to us when we were younger, or when they saw us trying to take our emceeing, dancing, graph arts, or DJing more seriously. In The Artist's Way, Julia Cameron says, stripped to their essence, our multiple negative beliefs reveal a central negative belief: we must trade one good, believe dream for another. In other words, if being an artist seems too good to be true to you, you will devise a price tag for it that strikes now as unpayable. Hence, you remain blocked. Or to put it another way, you never enter that battle, share your beats, or put out that album you've been talking about for years. When we have all these negative thoughts in our heads, we can think we're alone and we can't do anything about it. You're not alone. We all have them, whether we're artists or not. Cameron suggests affirmations to shut down the negative beliefs, using I am statements like, I am a brilliant and talented artist, or I deserve to make money doing my art. At first it may seem hard or silly, but over time, constantly reminding yourself why you're doing art is important. It will start to overtake the negative thoughts, and it may not happen overnight. However, what can happen is that you start to believe that you can make art, share with others, and if you choose to make money from it, you will. It's important to all of us that you share what you can and what you have. We need diversity in the culture, different voices, and messages that will take us to the next level. I hope this will inspire the making of some good hip-hop art.